So I've seen the pilot.
Excellent.
And there are some very interesting things that happen with your characters separately. Obviously, you have new powers now. You've been chosen. You found out something terrible about your wife. And then you've had a vision of Anna Diab's character, Rose. So what will we see in the upcoming episodes about you going to Houston? Because I think that's where we kind of left off with your character.
Yeah, I mean, he's already in Houston.
Yeah.
Everyone else, by the end of the pilot, is kind of heading that way too. Unbeknownst to them, the reason why, but they're all just, for one reason or another, heading that way. You will see him trying to understand what that vision was, and that's kind of how he progresses gift-wise throughout the season. Is constantly, they just happen, and him trying to figure out what they are, and them eventually as a group trying to use them to stop these things and go on these missions that they have to go on. But what's great about the show is it stays very grounded in those personal stories that we see that are set up in the beginning. So the things with the wife will come back into play, and it's this, their lives don't stop because they've suddenly been destined to save the world. Their personal lives still continue, and it keeps the show very grounded, I think.
Do the messengers all have different messages? Because yours seems very specific, and it doesn't seem like that goes hand to the others.
Indeed, he's the only one who kind of got a message like that.
Do the messages kind of define their roles?
Yes, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, everyone else wakes up after the death. Everyone else wakes up and they don't know what's happened. But Joshua is the only one who does, and it's a very tough thing for him because his whole belief system kind of comes crashing down. So it kind of sets him. I'll just speak for him, but it sets him on a very dark path that gets a lot darker.
Well, for your character, Peter, he gets, a really rude awakening when he's confronted at the party, and then his powers obviously manifest, and it surprises you, and then, you've already had like a foster home that you're from, so there's a troubled past. So how will your character progress in the upcoming season?
For Peter, at the beginning, it's all about control because he lost it at the beginning of episode 1. He killed this kid. And so he finds that later it's very internal, and then it's projected outwards through his strength. So coming from a horrible past, foster homes, a previous suicide attempt, he's just emotionally unstable. I mean, he's not like insane or anything, but he's not strong emotionally. So for him, it all comes down to control, finding that kind of a family with the messengers. He becomes more grounded. Yeah.
So what was it most about watching your characters that attracted you to take this role?
He's just very passionate. It was funny when I don't have this as the faith that he has. I have faith, but it's a different sort of faith that Joshua has. So it's interesting to come from that and approach this. And all the research I was doing on these modern day preachers. There's a guy in New York called Carl Lentz who wears like a leather jacket and is all tattooed and has a shaved head. And his church Hillsong. But these guys, they're so passionate that I would sit there for hours watching this guy talk, and even though we have differing beliefs, I was like captivated by just his passion, and that's really what drew me to Joshua, is this passion and this drive that he has, and I think that's where I could relate to him.
That's it.
Yeah, and I had no idea the dark path that it was going to end up taking, so that was quite lovely too. It was when we shot the pilot, the stuff with the wife wasn't there. So when we originally did it, there was no wife, and we actually shot that when we went back to shoot the series once we got picked up. So that was all brand new stuff. So it was a very... Yes, it was an interesting surprise when I got that phone call saying, "It's not your baby."
Does he continue to preach the message, or is that
you will see him kind of ebb and flow back and forth between the church, and it's a really tough struggle that he goes on, trying to figure out, you know, the father that he loved and believed in, whether he was wrong, whether, you know, the way I have been raised has been all lies, and you will see him come back to the church. Yes, I guess is the simplest way to say that without giving anything away.
Did you enjoy performing the scenes in the past?
I did, yeah. It was very. I come from theater, so it was very theatrical, and that was the first scene I did, shooting the pilot. So it was like being home in that sense, just walking on the stage in front of 200 extras, and yeah, I had a blast. And they were very lovely and let me riff and let me improvise, and so yeah, it was the most fun. Yeah.
Were you a swimmer as well, or did you?
I actually swam
That's actually me. I'm
competitively.
his body double.
Yeah, it just CG'd my face. Oh, no. I actually swam competitively for 11 years.
Oh wow.
So that was actually one thing when I first read the script. I was like, oh, this is awesome! I can actually do that. The swimming, not just the acting.
So what was it about Peter's character that really attracted you to?
The internal struggle. I always found that amazing. The first draft of the pilot, which is quite a bit different from what you guys saw today, because obviously the script goes through changes. But I just loved the script. Immediately within 42 and a half minutes, I loved each character. And it was amazing that within such a short a period of time and with such a big cast, you distinctly know each one of them and you really feel for them. And I really connected with Peter. I thought, wow, what a like rough background and childhood to come from. And I just found that really interesting. I was like, dive into that head first. That would be fun. Yeah. Yeah, and he's a swimmer. I can do that.
Dive in head first.
So here's a question for both of you. Do you believe in the concept of angels or their real meanings? I mean, personally.
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I believe that they're the warriors of heaven. I feel like on a Christmas tree, people put angels on the top. It's got a little halo, some sort of like. Ours had like this weird like gown cloak thing on, but I mean no, these guys were badass warriors of heaven. I believe that we have fulfilled that.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.